Oh, what's going on, guys? Gamer Dude back once again. Now, I know it's been a while since I've made one of these videos, and that's because, well, I don't have any footage saved onto my PS5 because I'm trying to preserve its memory for when the new games come out. So, I have dusted off my PS4, plugged in my external hard drive, got the audio working, and I can now finally, once again, record audio on the Share Factory, which is something it wouldn't let me do on the PS4 until I reconnected the hard drive, which was weird because it never had a problem with it before the hard drive. But anyway, on to the video. Let's get started. So, as you can see from the title, it's rather interesting. Now, Sony Studios are reportedly working on a remake, not a reboot, not a remaster, a remake of The Last of Us. Now, whether or not it's just going to be the first game all over again, nice and snazzy, spiced up for the PS5, I do not know yet. In fact, nobody knows. It's a top secret project. All we do know is that they're working on this remake of The Last of Us, favoured over a pitch on Days Gone 2. Now, Days Gone 2 didn't do as well... Days Gone didn't do as well as Sony had hoped. So, it seems as though that they've asked Ben Studio to just leave it alone. You know, leave it where it was. It ended how it ended. Enough is enough. Which, you know, is understandable, you know. A lot of games don't get sequels. I can't think of any off the top of my head, because the ones I'm looking at all currently have sequels. But, yeah, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, in a new Bloomberg report into dissatisfaction among Sony's lesser-known studios, sources say that The Last of Us Remake, which is codenamed T1X, which was actually the name of the virus in the game. I think it's mentioned in the opening sort of segments after Sarah dies. You know, they call it the T1X virus. Anyway, this was started by Michael Mumboa. I'm just going to call it Michael for the sake of my own sanity. This guy is the founder of the Visual Arts Service Group, a sub-Sony developer that traditionally assists in development on various PlayStation Studios games. Now, Michael apparently assembled a new 30-strong development group, and after passing on the idea of a remake of the first Uncharted game, which in hindsight would have been better, they instead settled on a remake of 2013's highly successful The Last of Us. Now, once again, the word remake can mean a number of things. Now, don't think of it as a reboot, don't think of it as a remaster, you know, just think of it as what it is. You know, it could just be it's getting a nice new remake for the PS5 and it's going to be exactly the same game, even though it got remastered on the PS4, but I can see how it would be better on the PS5 with the adaptive triggers, which I am enjoying, I might add. But anyway, moving on. The team had reportedly run into some trouble after Sony kept their existence a secret. They had also refused to offer the studio any extra budget into the project. Head of PlayStation Studios, Herman Holst, apparently deemed the project too expensive. Now, that's a lot coming from Sony, considering the big AAA titles they push out. You know, all of their AAA titles cost a fortune to make. I mean, from Uncharted, God of War, Spider-Man, they all cost a fortune. Even though they have other developers working with them, they still have to put in the majority of the money because it's still got their brand name in it. You know, they still receive money for the product as well. Michael's team was moved on to support, at the time, development of The Last of Us 2. This was around 2017, 2018, just before The Last of Us released in 2019. Bloomberg sources say that after The Last of Us 2 was completed, Sony then moved multiple Naughty Dog developers onto the T1X project, and the remake effectively became a Naughty Dog project. Now, again, in itself, that's cool, because we all love Naughty Dog games. Naughty Dog is essentially the brainchild of PlayStation. Michael and other original developers have now actually left the company, but development on the remake is apparently still going ahead. As part of the same report, Bloomberg also says that Sony Bend, and as I mentioned this earlier, they pitched a sequel for Days Gone after the game's release in 2019. But this was rejected. Now, I'm guessing it was rejected because Days Gone, we heard about Days Gone for so many years. I think I first heard about Days Gone in like 2013, 2014. It was supposed to be a PS3 game, and it just came postponed and postponed and pushed back and pushed back. And then eventually, when it came out, it had as many bugs as Cyberpunk did when that launched. And we all know how buggy Cyberpunk is. I mean, I haven't touched it since I got it. I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to save this game until they fix it, which is seeming less and less likely every other day. But anyway, Sony apparently moved these Bend Studio developers onto two separate Naughty Dog projects. A multiplayer game, which is presumably going to be the standalone multiplayer game for The Last of Us Part 2, because we all know that's coming. They've said that was coming, said it was going to be like the same mode from the first Last of Us game. I didn't enjoy that myself, because there was no zombies in it. It was just kill people, which sort of defeats the purpose of The Last of Us, you know. But anyway, Sony Bend staff reportedly left as a result of having their autonomy taken away, and leadership allegedly complained to Sony Studios and asked to be moved off of the new Uncharted development. Now that's interesting that they would say new Uncharted development, because as I mentioned earlier, it was a pitched idea for them to remake Uncharted, but that was pushed away. Now why would they say here new Uncharted development? Does that mean we're getting a new Uncharted? Are they rebooting it? Are they remaking it? Or are they just remastering all 5 games for the PS5? Like the Nathan Drake collection, but the Uncharted Mega Collection for the PS5, which would be ultra dope, I might add. But anyway, Sony Bend is now apparently working on a new original game, but it's not clear if this is going to be Days Gone 2, The Last of Us remake, or a brand new game entirely, or perhaps maybe a return back to an older catalogue game from the earlier days of PlayStation. Now, another report from Eurogamer states that its sources claim a Sony Bend developed Uncharted game was planned to be a new chapter for the series, possibly a prequel featuring Sully. And this was intended as something of a reboot for the series. So they'll probably do another franchise of games, and the last in the series would lead up to Sully meeting Nathan Drake, which we saw briefly in Uncharted 3 and Uncharted 4. Now, it's unclear if plans have persisted with Bend off the project, but I guess we'll find out. You know, they'll come out with something. You know, Sony doesn't do E3 anymore, so we'll probably find out something in a month or so when they do their sort of special standalone E3 thing of their own. Now, over the last couple of months, especially during the C virus crisis, there have been many rumours about a new team in San Diego, led by Michael, who I mentioned earlier, with many assuming that it was working on a new Uncharted game, after it said it was developing in an existing franchise, and I'm doing quotation marks there. So if they're working on an existing franchise, Uncharted or The Last of Us would indeed make sense. However, as I just said, it seems that does refer to this Last of Us remake that I've been mentioning. Now, this puts Uncharted's future seemingly and most definitely under Naughty Dog's control. So, although Sony will have a part and have a say in what happens to Uncharted, it seems as though Naughty Dog now have the massive, get-go in where the game goes from here. Where they go with the franchise. Will they do a prequel series, or will they continue the series where it left off with Nate's brother or Nate's daughter? But the timing for a remake of The Last of Us feels somewhat appropriate now, given that we've got the upcoming HBO series, which will reimagine the story of the first game entirely. It's from what I've heard about this new series, it is essentially just the game in live action, with a couple of tweaks here and there. But it would stand to reason that they would want to do the same thing because of Tom Holland's upcoming Uncharted movie. Now, maybe that's why the idea was pitched, for them to do this sort of thing. Maybe they're going to be working on one after the other, or maybe they're working on them both at the same time. We just don't know enough about it yet. I'm just reporting on what I have found. But yeah, that is about it for this video. Like I said at the beginning of the video, now I've got Share Factory working. Now I've got my PlayStation able to record the audio I need to upload these videos. I'll be doing a lot more of these videos. As for live streams, I don't really have any new games to offer you guys, so I don't want to just be doing a rehash of games that I've already done, because that's boring to me, it's boring to you. You guys want to see new stuff, I want to play new stuff. So until I get some new games, I'll probably just be continuing on with videos like this. And on the odd occasion, I might upload some gameplay from Avengers, because that game is actually coming along nicely. It had a rocky few months, but it's coming along, it's getting there. And you guys definitely seem to like the last two videos I uploaded, so I'll keep that coming as the content develops. So yeah, once again, that's it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you're new to the channel and enjoyed this video, make sure you smash that like button and drop me a subscribe, because it will just be your good deed of the day. I also sub back to new subscribers, and I do try to view any content you may be producing. So yeah, that's it then. Until the next one, this has been Gamer Dude. Happy gaming, and I will catch you all in the next one, guys.